Hello everyone and welcome. So this is Khadi back on KKCA with a new video, and as you may have noticed, the audio quality sounds a lot better. That's due to the fact that I bought a new microphone, and you should be very happy for me and happy for yourselves too, because you're gonna hear my voice in a better quality. So it's gonna be like better instructions and clear instructions and so on and so forth. So that's a big plus for everyone. And in today's video I just really wanted to make like a short video where I show you and I give you a tip on how to use and utilize the Multipass in Cinema 4D. So if you have never really used Multipass before, then this video is really gonna be for you. And it's basically about creating kind of like a crystal and diamond kind of look and adding it to your materials and objects in Cinema 4D. So I'll show you like a quick tip on how to get this result that you saw in the thumbnail. So it's really gonna be very easy, and you just really need to pay a little bit of attention. So we have this new normal material that we set up for our skull, and we just really want to set up like a material like this one, which is kind of like what we want. So we're just really gonna replace this material with that one, and I'm gonna show you like the settings that you need to have in your render to get this kind of result. So we're gonna need to set the luminance to our desired color, and for this purpose it's gonna be this red color. Okay, so just set it to a low value. You see, just set it to some kind of like low value like this, and then you need to go to the transparency and check it. Just be sure to check it, otherwise this effect will not work at all. And then, my friends, I'll zoom in just really quickly just so that you can see it better, and you're gonna find some presets here, and from these presets you can try and see whichever preset works best for you. But just bear in mind, the result you're gonna get from this render is not gonna be the final one, because we're gonna be tweaking the multipass in Photoshop, and that's gonna give us more better result, especially concerning reflectance and refraction and so on. Okay, so for this purpose I found that sapphire worked really well, and the absorption color is also set to the red, as you can see, and the absorption distance should be around 200 centimeters or so on, and the blurriness just to 10% or 20%, it can work too. And yeah, but let's just leave it at 10% for this purpose. Okay, or you can just really type in your desired value here and get like a very specific result that you're looking for. So I think that's it for the material, and you basically need to have an HDRI image that's gonna match the scene of your render. So for my purpose I have this jungle, I have this forest. Just let me show you. I have this forest HDRI image, and that's gonna simulate or give the impression that we're in some kind of snowy place, just like in this render. And you also really need to have a light. So let me turn on my light, and here you can see that I have an area light. Yeah, I do. That's just an area light. Okay, that's looking kind of perfect. So you need to find a good spot for your render, and you need to set the focal length to something you really like, and then you just go to the render settings, make sure you're on the physical render. Okay, and enable ambient occlusion. So just right click and then ambient occlusion, and then global illumination. Okay, and once you're in the physical render, maybe you just want to crank up the settings a little bit to the medium, and you just really need to go to the multipass, because this is the most important step of our video. And of course, just be sure to go to the multipass and check it, and right click and add all the image layers, and be sure to have your illumination too, and your diffuse. So then, and in the save, just be sure to check the save, and yeah, just go to the output, change your resolution. So maybe we need to make it just 1K by 1K, and here we're gonna save. We're gonna create like a save path, and just be sure that the multipass is also checked to get this path. Okay, so I have a path selected, and I'm gonna go ahead and click on render, wait for it some time, and then when it finishes rendering, we're gonna go straight to Photoshop. Okay, so now that our render has finished, we're gonna need to go ahead and check our directory and open up this multipass. You should have your illumination down in the bottom and the diffuse too. Okay, so the diffuse should be set to I don't know, maybe you can just disable the diffuse because it's not really gonna create a lot of dramatic changes. Okay, and maybe we can have it, so just set it to a soft light, and I can see that it's casting some kind of reflections and so on. That's good for our render. And now you're gonna need to look for the colored layers. So this one has some, just go to the refractions and then add a selective color, and then just be sure to set it as clipping mask. Okay, and then change the colors and set it to something you really want to see in your scene. I think for me it's just gonna be this kind of bright red. Okay, and I think I could also play a little bit with the ambient. Okay, do the same thing, selective color, be sure it's a clipping mask, and then change the reds because this is a red color. Okay, that seems to be quite cool. Alright, I'm liking it. And then just go to the shadows and decrease the opacity a little bit because they seem a little bit too overdone. And the specular, it's okay. And global illumination is okay too. The atmosphere is okay too. So it's looking kind of perfect. And if we look at the original render, it's you're gonna see exactly the difference that I'm talking about. So from this to this, from this to this, and if you tweak it a little bit more, you can even get these kind of results. Really, it's really not difficult at all. So you're really gonna have to play with exposure a little bit. You see, exposure, and so on and so forth. So it's really about applying effects and so on, and I think you're gonna have a great time playing around with this technique if you're gonna learn it. And if this video helped you, then be sure to give it a thumbs up, leave a nice comment. See you next time. Peace out, everyone.